old heart impacts past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off, we had Izuku Midoriya. He faced off against the Emperor. He discovered Super Saiyan 3, attempting to use it in the fight. Now, Midoriya did not realize exactly how much of a power boost this form gave him. It went past Midoriya's expectations by twice. Instead of him getting a 200% power increase, he got a 400% power increase. And during the fight, he also did learn exactly what the cost for would be. It's eating away at his stamina very intensely. Afterwards, Midoriya actually did show signs of losing control of the wrathful form for the Great Ape. Now, whenever Midoriya did lose control, he also did turn Super Saiyan and show off to Morse the legendary Super Saiyan form, or the form the Saiyans originally took. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he then was defeated, seemingly easily. The massive spike in power immediately dropping, and Morse beginning to torture Midoriya, trying to get him to submit under his will. Now, with that being said, Midoriya did not comply, and then Mina and Momo arrived on the planet, both using instant transmission and arriving together, them fusing in order to try and attack Morris and take him down. Now, Morris also did tear off Midoriya's right arm, before he did pass out. Now then, we do currently have on the planets the fusion between Momo and Mina, attacking and fighting with the Emperor, as they are only in base form right now. And the Emperor is seemingly able to keep up with these attacks and fight against them. Now, with that being said, back on the lookout, we do have Midoriya's children and Kaito, all of them in horror as to what just happened to Midoriya. Wakashi actually turning Super Saiyan and getting a bit angry, as he does go to bring his fingers up to his head. This being where Piccolo actually does stop him, grabbing him by his wrist and informing him that he is going to do something stupid. Piccolo, you don't understand. If I don't get there now, he's going to die. I understand that. But you're going to attack Morse, aren't you? Yes! I gotta help Mom. No, you can't. Midoriya discovered 2 different forms, and he was defeated easily. What makes you think you can stand against him? I have to at least try. No. Head there and get Midoriya. Once you bring him back, then you must work on fusion. Why? Think about it. Look at your mother. Him going back to focusing on the battle, picturing it in his mind, feeling what is currently going on. Momo and Mina, both these two, or as their fusion names shall be, Mona. She smashes Mars across the face and sends him flying away, bringing her left hand outwards and grabbing her own wrist, firing out a very large ki blast. This actually destroying several mountains in the distance. As she then actually does bring up her right hand and create a very large shockwave, throwing her hand outwards, before casting a magic spell. Now, they actually do watch this happen. And they do watch as she does actually spin around, confused. The Emperor appearing right in front of her and throwing out his arm. Them grabbing him by his wrist and actually throwing it upwards towards the sky, before smashing him directly in the stomach. Now, this actually does surprise the Emperor quite a bit, as he actually does fly backwards and gain some distance, actually bringing his hand up to hold onto his stomach. Impressive. So, who are you? There were two of you, weren't there? Both of them responding in unison, or two voices that sound like one, that they are Mona. And he pissed both of them off a lot, before they actually do both put their hands up and power up into Super Saiyan. The power they're showing off is quite extreme. So, you're my next little prey. I see. Well, I guess I'll have to finish this off quickly then. Him bringing his hand up, before spinning it to the side and aiming down behind him. Him letting out a very powerful ki blast. Mona immediately bringing her hand up and firing off after it, as that ki blast was aimed at Midoriya. Now, the blast dissipates after Mona's blast hits it, and the two explode directly on Midoriya, covering him in some rubble. Now, Wakashi then actually does try to focus Mona's dad's power. It's weak, but it is there. Him quickly teleporting, arriving on the planet. Him going to hide his power level and try and lift up the heavy rocks, throwing them off pile after pile. Now, with that, Mona is pissed off more, and she does actually power up into Super Saiyan 2, and rush the Emperor, being able to actually bring her leg up and kick him directly across the face. Him actually going to attack her, before she just begins to dodge. And she then spins around and smashes him across the face again, and actually does begin to start throwing a fury of punches directly into his chest. Now, this actually does catch the Emperor off guard, as he's trying to process everything going on. And the two actually back away from each other. Her going to bring up her hands and charge up a very, very special blast. Now, she actually does go to power up the blast, turning, let's say, purple, as she actually does fire it off with both hands. The Emperor actually going to block the attack. However, as soon as it actually does hits him, he feels something different. The attack wraps around his body, and quickly turns into a giant ball. Before she actually does use her ki and bring it towards her, and create the ball to be tiny. Now, she does that and then actually does do one thing. Holding onto the ball, she throws it, she cocks back her arm and throws it as hard as she can towards outer space. Now, after that does happen, she does actually throw her hand down and blast towards the core of the planet. Now then, that means that within 2 minutes, the planet will be utterly and completely destroyed. Her quickly moving over to Midoriya, grabbing Wakashi, and then grabbing Midoriya out from underneath the rubble, using instant transmission immediately. Now, they arrive back at the lookout. Meanwhile, inside that ball that was thrown, it goes smashing back down onto the planet. Before, the Emperor actually is able to break through it, returning to size immediately as he does get very angry, and begin to scream, trying to look around the planet for power levels. And he actually has decided to start going a bit apeshit, beginning to blast around at the nearby surroundings, thinking that everyone on the planet is about to die. Before, after a few seconds, boom, he sped up the planet's destruction, and it blew up. Now then, with that being said, they do arrive back at the lookout, and immediately they try and treat Midoriya's arm. Now, everyone is surprised to meet this new fusion. Along with that, Midoriya does actually get his wound tended to. Vado's actually going to heal him, healing Midoriya's broken bones, ribs, skull, back, and, well, sadly, I don't think she can repair missing limbs. Now, Midoriya, he does actually get healed, receiving a Zenkai in the progress. And I do want to say that he will be out for some time. However, he is at least still breathing. Vado's actually mentioning that Midoriya got quite lucky. If they had waited a few more seconds, he might have died. He was very close to the brink of death. And the Emperor didn't help anymore, covering him in rubble. Now, with that being said, she actually does turn to this fusion, asking exactly what does she plan to do against the Emperor? What do you mean? We took him out. No, that is not the case. What? What do you mean, he's still alive? Now, meanwhile, in the, remains of Vampa, we do have the Emperor. His body was destroyed. However, it's slowly beginning to piece itself back together. So, they were bought some time. Luckily, this means it was all good. Morse is going to take some time to reform. And in that amount of time, they can at least try and prep different things. Now, with that being said, the fusion actually does decide that they need another plan. Midoriya could not face off against him. Let's see. I have a few ideas that might work. Like high energy didn't work. We could probably take him down. Yeah, you're right. Maybe if we use my ultimate form, we could take him down. Really? Well, yeah. We're using Vitara, remember? And do you feel our strength? That being whenever the fusion actually just bring their right hand up and ball it into a fist. Now, she actually does ask Vados exactly how long would it take to destroy him the way he is now. And Vados does actually inform them that while he is reforming currently, it would most likely be impossible. And especially out there in space. Last time she checked, Saiyans cannot breathe in space. Neither can demons. Not unless she has some form of magic to do so, correct? That being where they do actually begin to start thinking. As far as she knows, there's a magic that can make you breathe in water, but space might be a different story. Damn it. That might be part of the ancient texts that were burned. I hate magic. Now, with that, this is quite surprising. These two spending some time fused together. As eventually they do, well, I don't want to say they defuse. I want to say that because of Mina's magic, they stay fused together. So they're at least stuck like this for the time being. Now, a few hours do pass by. Eventually, Bakugo does actually come out of the time chamber, along with Kirishima. Both these two expecting the threat Morse to be dealt with and done. Now, Bakugo was actually a bit more annoyed that he didn't get his chance to have a shot at the man, especially after what he did last time. He basically made a laughingstock out of them again. However, he's quite in shock to find that Midoriya is bedridden. Along with that, he's missing an arm, and was almost killed after revealing 2 different transformations. Bakugo surprised at that. 2 transformations. Super Saiyan 3, which he saw and felt the power of, and then something beyond that, which most likely could have been unimaginable. Now, with that being said, this is all quite shocking to say the least. Then there's the fact about the fusion. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that within all this time, for those of you who are wondering where Kendo has been, she has been looking for Todoroki. She has heard of his revival, and she has been quite curious. Now, eventually she did find Todoroki, let's say somewhere in America. And he was actually... I could see him being a celebrity. Or at least like a stunt double. Actually, no, let's say that he's a firefighter, because that would actually probably make sense. Now, with all that being said, within all of this time, he's been doing that. Surprised to find Kendo showing up at the firehouse, and being informed about the Emperor. Now, he does inform her about everything going on. And then, she did show off exactly what's been happening. Explain that people are dying and that the world is going to be in danger. Him actually quickly joining her. And they did arrive later on into the day, around after Bakugo and Kirishima actually get out of the time chamber. Now then, with that being said, that's what he's been doing this whole time. Anyways, now, eventually, Midoriya does actually wake up. And the Fusion Mona actually is happy to see him. Midoriya being confused at who this person is, and actually asking where Mina and Momo are. Before looking at Bakugo, asking exactly what happened. I don't know, man, you tell me. Besides, they're right there. Midoriya following Bakugo's finger, still confused. Before taking notice of the Patara earrings, as his eyes widen. You two fused using those. Yeah, it's quite strange. In fact, somehow all of our memories are separate. We thought they'd be mixed together. Okay. Did you two defeat Morse? Um, Not really. We sort of saved you. And it's a good thing we did, otherwise you would have died. Oh, okay. Now, Midoriya actually does go to get up. As he does stand on his feet, he does go falling to his right. Midoriya going to try and throw out his right arm, thinking that he still does have it. However, he actually does find it weird whenever the side of his body does actually hit the frame, or let's say the dresser, on his right. Midoriya actually does go to look for his arm. Now, Midoriya does find this all to be strange, and he's actually quite shocked to find what he's lost. Now, they do explain that Moors tore the arm off of him, so it just shows how brutal he's going to be. Especially with the fact that Midoriya discovered something new. And even then, he still lost. Explaining to Midoriya that whenever he tried using the Ikari form, or the wrathful form, that he also went Super Saiyan. And he lost complete control of himself. It seems like his power may have rivaled Moor's, but he was nothing more than brawn. Moor's was more tactical. Instead, Midoriya was just throwing around power left and right, over and over again. But it seemed like he may have had Moors on the ropes. So Midoriya either needs to learn more about that power, or she does have another idea. Her going to take off the Patara earrings and hand them over. Now, she was concerned about what happened when she took them off. And, surprise, surprise, after taking off the right earring, nothing happened. Taking off the left earring, nothing happened. Handing them over to Midoriya, saying that Midoriya, he might need to fuse with somebody else. Okay. This is still strange. But how are you two feeling? Now, they actually do grab Midoriya and pull him into a hug, saying that they're both feeling fine. And this isn't actually as weird as you would expect. Now, Midoriya is still confused by it, as he does look down at the earrings in his left hand. And he actually does look towards Bakugo, thinking that he might be the best choice, since he is stronger. What the hell are you looking at me for? Well, I mean, if worse comes to worse, we might need to fuse. Well, like hell I'm fusing with you. Bakugo, this isn't really up for debate. Up for... Are you serious? Yes, it is. Look at them. They've been stuck like this for the last 10 hours. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna be stuck with you for the rest of my life. Or our life, or whatever the hell. Ah. Jeez. Even then. Well, Bakugo, I do want to say that the Dragon Balls might be able to undo this. Now, this is whenever Mona actually does look towards Midoriya, saying that she didn't even really think about that. Actually, that makes things a bit easier. Alright. Well, that's done then. So, Bakugo, what do you say? We use the Dragon Balls to get unfused after we defeat Morse. No. Why? Because the Dragon Balls, you cannot wish for mortality anymore. And there's the fact that, what? It took a lot of Shenron's power to undo that Saiyan Civil War thing from what I've heard, right? And then the Guardian of Earth is now weaker. And I did ask Shenron about it. Apparently, depending on how strong the Guardian is, depends on how strong your wish is. So I do want to say that, and pointing at me, Mona, saying might be permanent. Now, the two do go back and forth. Bakugo's saying that if worse comes to worse, they can try and do the... Oh. You were gonna say Metamoran, right? Because kinda need a hand here, bud. Now, he actually does think that he can at least try the Metamoran fusion with Kirishima. And fusing with Midoriya might be a last option. Now, meanwhile, we also do have the kids. After watching what happened to their father, you actually do have hope. And Wakashi. He feels like he's somewhat responsible for this. His dad lost control. And then there's the fact that he's trying so hard to protect everyone. He doesn't want to train anymore, but then there's the fact that his father literally went in the time chamber for 1 year and tried to master Super Saiyan 3, or even just get to it, just to try and protect all of them. So, in the middle of the night, he actually decided to sneak into the time chamber. However, you have Hope and Etza, who actually do follow their brother. And they actually do inform him about this, stating that they're not going to be left behind. And they do lock themselves in the time chamber in the middle of the night. And no one even notices. They're too busy discussing about what will happen whenever Morris reunites his body. Now, with all of that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next parts.